Shabbat Shalom. It's a pleasure to be with you today. It's a beautiful day and it will be a beautiful Shabbat. Here with the worship team, members of it, and the Neve family, as we anticipate Abigail becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow morning. Very excited about that. In a few minutes, we'll introduce the Neves and they can light Shabbat candles, but first I'd like to invite my colleagues to introduce themselves and wish one another Shabbat Shalom. I don't know who I was. I'm Rabbi Sharon Henry.
I'm Molly May. I'm the Cantorial Soloist at Shalom, and it's lovely to be together, and it's lovely to know that you're out there with us. I invite you to grab your candles, grab your kiddush cups and your challah, so that we can say our blessings together as the time comes along.
Olivia Tucker, doing tech for us tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom, I'm Don McGann, I'm music director and your pianist for this evening. And as it is good and lovely to be here together, would you please join me and let's just sing about that with Hine Matov, how wonderful and good and pleasant and perfectly right to be together here right now. So Hine Matov.
Page 10.
Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matovu Manayim 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 Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matov Yadadai Yadadadadadadai Hine Matov Yadadai Yadadadadadadai Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad Hine Matovu Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
My privilege to call upon the members of the Neve family. Abigail will become a bat mitzvah tomorrow, joined by her parents, Lisa and Barak, and her sister, Gabriella. The light Shabbat candles.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Continue with Shalom Alechem. If you have a prayer book, page 24.
And having stepped into this beautiful place of holiness, let us welcome the Shabbat angels. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem Shalom Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom I made a big mistake, and my bad. I went to the wrong place. We're Barchuni. And Barchuni l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem l'shalom, Malachi Hashalom, Malachi Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
From Psalm 96, Shir Chadash, sing unto God a new song. We've welcomed Shabbat light, we've welcomed the Shabbat angels, and now we welcome the beauty of Shabbat as a bride with Lecha Dodi on pages 20 and 21. And we'll be singing verses 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9.
we were together in person, we would use this opportunity to wish one another Shabbat Shalom, to walk around the room, to shake hands. We can't do any of those things, but we can put Shabbat Shalom in the comments or in the YouTube chat. You can wish one another Shabbat Shalom. If you have some news to share, we'd be happy to have you do that as well. Those of us leading the service won't be able to see it, but those of you on YouTube will be able to see it. So take that opportunity if you'd like, tell us where you're watching from, and maybe send a good wish to Abigail. Continue with our service now on page 22 as we sing together Tzadik Katamar.
It is the indented portion on the page, so I invite you to be the righteous blooming voices as you sing along as I play for you Tzadik Katamar.
Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. We invite you to rise in body or in spirit and face east with me. The east is already this way for me in my location, and join us in the call to worship, the Baruch Hu, which is on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim v'chokhma potech she'arim u'bitbuna meshana itim v'chalif et hazmanim v'der et hakochavim u'mishmarotehem barakiach kirtzono v'rayom v'layla v'leil or mipnei choshech v'choshech mikor ma'avir yom u'mvi-layla u'mavdil ben yom ben layla Adonai tzvot shemo Chai v'kayam tamid v'lo v'leinu v'olam va'ad Baruch atah Adonai Ariv Aravim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Amcha Torah Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. If you find yourself standing, you may be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha ubechol nafshecha ubechol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
Our next prayer is Mi Chamocha. It's that song that we sing that celebrates our redemption from slavery in Egypt. This prayer that I think about all the time, given what's happening in our streets, what's happening in our world. And so just like to share a reading that's in our prayer book and have us think about, as I'm reading, what freedoms that we have and what freedoms we need to support other people for as they work to achieve those freedoms, and how we may take a part ourselves in dismantling some of the reason that there isn't freedom and justice for all. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one in it, when our nation one in it. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea, Mi Chamocha.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehar v'kodesh, nora tehilot osei pelech, nora tehilot osei pelech. Malechutecha ra'u banecha, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, צאליאנו ואמרו, צאליאנו ואמרו, אדוני אינו לעולם ועד, אדוני אינו לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדרנו את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני קהל ישראל. Hashkivenu, our people's nighttime prayer. It's on page 42, and we're praying for a shelter of peace. ועמידנו שומרנו שומרנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותגנינו בעצה טובה מלפניך והשירו למען שמך. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום. שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים ועל כל עמו ועל ירושלים שלום ועל ירושלים ועל כל עמו ועל ירושלים שלום. ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום. שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל. שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל.
We continue on page 44 with the Veshamaru. Veshamaru v'nei Yisrael et ha'abat la'asot et ha'shabbat ledorotam berit olam beni uven bnei Yisrael oti leolam leolam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash.
I invite you to again rise in body and spirit, face the east together for the Amidah, the meditation for which begins on page 46, continues on the next few even-numbered pages, and then we pray on our own. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el ha'gadol ha'gibor v'ha'norah, El Elyon, gomer chasadim tovim, v'konei ha'kol, v'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, u'mevii geula livnei bneihem, leman shemo b'yahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magin, baruch atah Adonai, magin Avraham be'ezrat Sarah. עולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו משני עפר, מי כמוך בר גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה, ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
רצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני
Continue now with Misha Bera, prayer for healing. A moment to think of those members of our family, our friends, those members of our community who are sick or need of healing of body, healing of spirit. Pray for all those who are struggling with illness, whatever form, anxiety, addiction, loneliness, loss, isolation, fear, grief. If you know someone who you think would benefit from that healing energy of Misha Bera, even for us remembering that person and naming that person, please put their names in the chat. On YouTube, again, we won't see it, but other people will see it. That somehow that healing energy gets where it needs to go. Tonight we hold in our hearts Nancy Berkowitz, Millard Billoon, Richard Breen, Naum Kaplan, Liba Chaika, Bat Rosa, Lee Kramer, Liv Kowalski, Maria Puchansky, Beth Van Zika, Alan Milk. Those Zikos. Bobby Darren Monroe.
Misha Bera,
It is my privilege and my pleasure to announce or to introduce David Fair. He's not with us at the moment. He is in New York, about to start services at Congregation Beit Simchat Torah, where he's an intern. David Fair is studying to be a cantor. He was our cantorial soloist for several years right out of college. When he was right out of college, he was beloved. He was very young. He was very sweet. He's gifted. And he is a Jew of color. And the last couple of weeks, what we've been hearing from our leadership is that we need to listen to and follow closely behind our Black and brown leaders. David will be a leader soon. He actually already is. If you are a Facebook friend of his, then you've been able to hear his really passionate, very personal words and hear him singing. He's been singing spirituals the last couple of days, and they've been beautiful. So I contacted him and asked him to send us a video of a sermon and maybe a little bit of song. And he did that. And so now it is my privilege to introduce you, if you don't already know him, to David Fair, and if you do, to reacquaint you with him, soon to be cantor David Fair.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm David Fair. I'm so glad to be returning to Rodef Shalom, and it's my holy honor to talk to you all tonight about ways that you can be an anti-racism educator. So for those of you who don't exactly either know or remember my story, so my dad was a tall, thin, Black guy, grew up Catholic in Baltimore, and my mother was a short Jewish lady named Marcia Goldman, snow white skin, and I am the product of that. And I wanted to talk to you all about ways that as Jewish people, you can be an active participator in the fight against racism. And the way you do that is not by necessarily contacting people of color like myself and sending them sweet notes of support and love and encouragement and telling them, I'm scared for this country, but I want to check in on you. That has its place, and that's beautiful, and that's compassionate. But there's something you should do before that. I want you to have a conversation with another Jewish person. And I want you to talk to this Jewish person about ways that you have participated and encouraged racism. Now, you might be saying to me, David, I'm not a racist. I agree. You are not a racist, most likely. But you have encouraged racism. You have been a participant. So I'll tell you ways that you have done it. In fact, I'm going to tell you ways I have done it. And hopefully, if I tell you ways I have done it, you can see yourself. I, for instance, did not say anything to my boss when I noticed that everyone in our office was a white person. And I looked around and I didn't see anybody of color. I didn't go up to my boss and say, we need to hire some more people of color. There are educated, smart, bright people of color, and they live right here in our town, and we need to make the effort to hire them. When I see a homeless person on the street, I'm much more likely to give money to a white homeless person than a Black homeless person. For the majority of my life, I refused to date anyone of color, and it had nothing to do with being Jewish. I didn't know I wanted to be with a Jewish person for the longest time, but I couldn't bring myself to be with a person of color. I wanted to be with a white person. I have gotten aggravated with people whose native language was not English. I have assumed that Black doctors were orderlies or nurses. I was a teacher, and I had a curriculum that I needed to follow, and I taught only amazing leaders. I taught only the lead of leaders who were white. I have twice this past year, I can remember, 2 times, I have gotten 2 people who are of South American descent. I've gotten them mixed up and called them the other person's name. So those are the myriad of ways that I have encouraged racism. Now, I'm not going to say to myself right now, oh, David, shame on you. I feel so badly. Oh, no. I'm going to make a change in my behavior. I'm going to put an end to all this. So I want you to go to your white Jewish friend, and I want you to tell them ways that you have encouraged racism, and ask them, have you encouraged racism? And they could admit to you all of those ways themselves, but what they probably will say is, I'm not a racist. I did teach for America. I have people of color in my family. I taught in the inner city schools. I worked in a soup kitchen. I have Black friends. And it's your job to call them out, and it's your job to say to them, so you and I both know there are avowed racists who have done Teach for America. There are avowed racists who are teaching in the inner city schools. There are racists who have people of color in their family. Just because you are part of one of those groups does not mean you are not a racist. There are men who beat their wives, and just because they love these women and they are married to women does not mean that they are feminists. So I ask you to go to your Jewish friends and have these hard conversations. Put a badge on yourself that says anti-racism educator. And know that the conversations that you are having are far more powerful than a conversation that I could have with a white person. I do not have the ear of the kind of white people that you most likely have the ear of. I know that you know white people who sneer at people in interracial couples. I know that you have white people in your life who have 0 Black friends. And when they have had the opportunity to make Black friends, they don't. And by the way, I'm using the word Black, but I might mean Black. I might also mean another person of color. Being Black is near and dear to my heart, so I tend to use it. I also realize that the jails and the prisons in our countries are by and large filled with Black people. However, there's only 12% Black people in this country, so I tend to go there. I want you to see yourself as a white person blessed by God. You have a powerful voice. You have a voice that can reach people. The suffrage movement, women getting the right to vote, that was given to women by men. Women could not give themselves the right to vote. Men had to do that. Men had to have powerful conversations with each other to give women the right to vote. And you, as a white person, you have the ability to change everything, to change the laws. And plus, as a Black man, I am tired of explaining to white people why Black Lives Matter and why all lives matter is not a movement. You have that power. You have the ability to have that kind of conversation. I'd like to sing for you a song, a spiritual. And the spiritual is called Over My Head. And spirituals were created by the slaves that were brought to this land against their will by the white person. But they created something that I think speaks to the human condition. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. Over my head, I hear music in the air. There must be a God somewhere. We are all children of God. The homeless woman down the street, she is a child of God exactly as you are. The next time you are at your Thanksgiving dinner and Uncle Ted says something racist, something that you know in your heart is unacceptable, I empower you to say, Uncle Ted, why did you say that? Do you not feel that that person is a child of God and is owed all of the pleasures and wonderful advantages of life that you are? What you are saying is the words of racism, and I will no longer tolerate that. Why can you not love that person as your sibling? Everyone, I charge you, use your privilege for good. Privilege is not a bad word. You can use your privilege for acts of love and kindness. And you don't need to be a clergy person like myself. You can be an act of change. Shabbat Shalom.
I heard that sermon yesterday, and I took David's advice or his charge. I picked up his charge, and I had that conversation with my family at dinner. It was so interesting for us to have that conversation, to talk about the ways that we have sort of participated in racism without even thinking about it, and how we've all said, I'm not a racist, but, or I'm not a, Anyway, we will be continuing these conversations. Olivia will have more information about that in the announcements, but right now we turn to Aleinu, which tells us it's on us. It's on us to bring these words of prayer off the pages and into our lives. Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. On page 285, let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad.
Kaddish is on page 294. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and all those whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us. Gladys Estelle Bronstein-Burstein, Gary Goldhammer, Barry Saul Yar, Robert Buck Sr. We think also of those whose yahrzeit we observe on this Shabbat: Phyllis Apter, May Block, Shirley Cantor, Kathy Dickman Mellott, Dr. Alan Fells, Stuart Flam, Ida Korn, Estelle Crewman, Jack Crewman, Ruth Lieber, Renee Linder, Henrietta Midland, Ruth Nayhouse, Marion Reamer, Andrew Wolf. Just add names in the YouTube chat. We won't be able to see them, but you will and others will. Zichronam livracha, may all their memories be for blessing. Please unmute if you would like. Can they? If you'd like to unmute and say Kaddish, it won't sound like a symphony, but it will sound like Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yama divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayachon uvyomechon uv'chayei techol beit Yisrael. B'gala u'izman kariv v'imru amen.
Amen.
Hey shmei
Shmei Rabbam Varach Leolam.
yitzbarach v'yitzbarach v'yitzbar v'yitramam v'yitadar v'yitala v'yitala made kudasha
Brichu.
Amin kol birchata v'shirata tishbechata v'nechamata damiran v'yama amen. Hey mama rabba min shma chayim aleinu v'chol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'chol Yisrael tevel v'chol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Oseh shalom imromav uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Olivia Tucker. I'm going to share some announcements for the coming week. Our annual meeting is this Sunday at 11 a.m. everything is on Zoom still these days. We will certainly keep everyone updated about plans for the building, but everything is on Zoom still. And we hope that everyone will be able to come to the annual meeting Sunday at 11 a.m. Heading through the week on Monday evening, we have a program that Rabbi Henry mentioned earlier, a conversation about how to be an anti-racist, a book by Ibram X. Kennedy, which I just finished today, and I really highly recommend it. It is from phenomenal frameworks for understanding racism and for how to understand that there is no not racist, there's just racist and anti-racist. And making that shift of perspective is really difficult, and you're not alone. So come at 7 o'clock on Monday and we'll discuss the book and learn from each other. This week, our music and culture at home guest, Thursday at 3 p.m. is Judy Clack from the League of Women Voters, talking about what the year looks like for voting, disenfranchisement, and how to register and help make sure everyone's registered. And throughout the week, of course, we have our regular programs, Torah in Our Times on Monday, Sewing and Knitting Group on Tuesday morning. There's a Shabbat schmooze before the Shabbat starts, the sort of sip and schmooze from the women of Rodef Shalom before our Shabbat services. All of that, including Tiferet meditations, the youth group events, the JJEP rainy day programs, all of this is in the Shalomograms and various emails through the week. If you're not receiving those, please email me, Tucker, Tucker, at rodefshalom.org, and we'll make sure that you are connected. Thank you so much. I'm turning it over to Molly.
So our closing song is a song called Stand Up by Chava Morel. And it's about our earth, but it's also about us as people standing up for each other. So you'll hear the words, stand up for our mother, stand up for each other, and you'll also hear le'avda or le'shamra. You work it and guard it. We stand on the earth, so we better stand for her together. We stand on the earth, so we better stand for her together. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. We were put in this paradise, it's our job to guard her life. We were put in this paradise, it's our job to guard her life. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Oh, 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 stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Stand up for our mother, stand up for each other. Oh,
It's my privilege now to invite the Neve family to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi. And following that, all of us are invited to gathered together for a Zoom Oneg. The link is in the YouTube somehow. Olivia assures me that it is. So Abigail and family.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzav b'anu. B'Shabbat kodsho b'ahavai v'ratzon hinchi lanu. Zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit.
Kibuyam tehilah lemikra'ei kodesh. Zecher Tzion Mitzrayim, Kibanu B'charta, Ve'otanu Kidashta, Mikol Ha'amim, Ve'Shabbat Kodshecha, Ve'ahava U'ratzon, Minchaltanu.
Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Amen.
Have a sip of that, whatever is there.
Thank you. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Amen.
You have to taste that. It looks beautiful. You sounded great. We're so looking forward to seeing all of you tomorrow morning. Abigail, really excited about your bat mitzvah. Shabbat shalom to everyone.
Shabbat shalom.